The movie opens in the year 1720 aboard the massive British ship HMS Dauntless, cutting steadily through the open sea. On deck stands a young girl, Elizabeth, softly singing a pirate song as the wind carries her voice across the water. Her melody is suddenly interrupted when a man approaches and sharply tells her to stop, warning that such songs have no place in these waters where pirates are feared and hunted. After this, Lieutenant James is shown hating pirates. He scolds her and says that pirates deserve nothing but death. Soon, Elizabeth's father arrives, who is the governor of the city. He tells James not to speak to his daughter in that manner. Afterward, James and the governor leave the area. Elizabeth then starts looking at the sea once again. Suddenly, she notices a boy floating in the ocean. She immediately screams to alert everyone, and together they pull the boy onto the ship. At that moment, everyone looks ahead and sees something shocking. The boy is finally brought onto the ship. After regaining consciousness, Elizabeth goes near him and introduces herself. The boy also tells her his name and says that he is Will Turner. However, he soon faints again. Elizabeth then notices a golden locket around his neck with a pirate symbol engraved on it. She realizes that he might be the son of a pirate. Elizabeth already knows that if James discovers this truth, he will kill the boy immediately. Because of this, she secretly keeps the locket with herself. Elizabeth is also deeply fascinated by pirates. As time passes, several years go by. Elizabeth grows up, but she still keeps Will's locket hidden and never tells anyone about it. One day, Elizabeth's father arrives and gives her a new dress. He tells her that they have been invited to a ceremony celebrating James' promotion and says that he wants her to spend more time with him and build a good relationship. In reality, Elizabeth's father wants James and Elizabeth to get married. Meanwhile, the story shifts to Will Turner, who arrives at the governor's residence. Will is now a blacksmith and the governor had asked him to forge a sword. He has come to deliver it. At that moment, Elizabeth also arrives there. She becomes very happy after seeing Will, but her father does not want them talking too much. Because of this, he takes Elizabeth away with him. On the other side, the scene shifts to the one and only Captain Jack Sparrow, who needs no introduction. Jack sails toward the port of Port Royal to dock his boat. A harbor officer approaches him and explains that a silver coin must be paid in order to anchor a boat at Port Royal. The man approaches Jack Sparrow, and Jack gives him 3 silver coins while telling him to forget his name. "It's a shilling to tie up your boat, and I shall need to know your name. What do you say to 3 shillings? And we forget the name. Welcome to Port Royal, Mr. Smith." Afterward, Jack walks toward another area, but some guards suddenly stop him and ask why he has come there. Jack casually replies that he has come to steal a ship. Naturally, the soldiers do not believe him. Meanwhile, at the palace, James and Elizabeth are seen together. During the gathering, James confesses his love to Elizabeth. However, Elizabeth's dress is tied so tightly that she begins to feel suffocated. Moments later, she faints and falls from the palace into the sea below. Around her neck, Elizabeth is still wearing Will's golden pirate locket. As soon as she falls into the water, the locket releases strange vibrations and sound waves that travel far across the sea. At the same time, Captain Jack Sparrow notices Elizabeth falling into the ocean. He immediately jumps in to save her. After bringing her safely back out of the water, Jack sees the golden locket around her neck. He quickly asks Elizabeth how she obtained it. Before she can answer, Elizabeth's father arrives with several soldiers. The guards immediately surround Jack at gunpoint. However, Elizabeth tells everyone that Jack is the one who saved her life. James notices a pirate mark on Jack's hand. Since he deeply hates pirates, he immediately orders Jack to be captured. However, do you really intend to kill my rescuer? Well, Jack Sparrow ISN, Captain Jack Sparrow, if you please, sir. However, Jack cleverly grabs Elizabeth and manages to escape from the soldiers the guards chase after him. But he successfully avoids them. Soon, Jack enters a blacksmith's shop to break his handcuffs. The shop belongs to Will Turner. After some time, Will arrives there, and upon seeing a stranger inside his shop, attacks him. A sword fight begins between the two, but before it can continue any further, soldiers arrive and capture Jack. He is then locked inside a jail cell. Later that night, the legendary pirate ship known as the Black Pearl appears near the island. Earlier, when Elizabeth had fallen into the ocean, the strange vibrations and sound waves released from the golden locket had guided the ship there. The pirates launch a massive attack on the town and eventually enter Elizabeth's mansion. One of the pirates tells Elizabeth that she possesses something that belongs to them, a cursed gold coin, and they want it back. The pirate is about to kill her, but before he can do so, Elizabeth demands to speak with their captain. According to pirate rules, no one can refuse such a request. You've got something of ours. Parley. Parley, I invoke the right of parley. You have to take me to your captain. I know the code. Because of this, the pirates take Elizabeth prisoner and bring her aboard their ship. The next morning, Will learns that pirates have kidnapped Elizabeth, and he becomes extremely worried. He goes to Elizabeth's father and James, urging them to rescue her at any cost. However, no one takes him seriously because he is only a poor blacksmith. Will then remembers that Jack Sparrow had spoken about the Black Pearl. Realizing Jack may be the only person who can help, Will goes to the jail and asks Jack to assist him in rescuing Elizabeth. In return, he promises to help Jack escape safely. At first, Jack refuses, but then he asks for Will's name. When Will introduces himself as Will Turner, Jack immediately realizes that he is the son of the famous pirate Bootstrap Turner. Because of this, Jack finally agrees to help him. Soon, Will helps Jack escape from jail, and the two secretly hide beneath a small boat before reaching a large ship called the Dauntless. However, James notices them and immediately sends soldiers after them. A fight breaks out between the guards and the two fugitives. When the soldiers board the Dauntless, Jack and Will quickly escape onto another ship called the Interceptor, which is known for its incredible speed. Right in front of James' eyes, the two steal the Interceptor and sail away. During the journey, Will asks Jack why he agreed to help only after hearing his name. Jack then reveals the truth to him. He explains that Will is not just a blacksmith, but the son of a pirate. Afterward, they arrive at an island where Jack meets his old crew members. Jack asks for their help and says they must go after the Black Pearl. He explains his plan to make a deal with Captain Barbassa and then take control of the ship. Most of the crew doubts Barbassa would ever hand over his ship willingly. However, Jack confidently says that Barbassa will have no choice because they have something valuable. Will Turner, the son of Bootstrap Turner. Well, then I'd say it's a very good thing I'm not a fool. Then prove me wrong. The kid is the child of Bootstrap Bill Turner. Meanwhile, aboard the Black Pearl, Elizabeth speaks with Captain Barbassa. She tells him that she already returned the gold coin and demands to be released. Barbassa then explains the terrifying story behind the cursed coin. He says the coin is part of an ancient Aztec treasure. There were originally 882 gold coins given as tribute so that the Aztec people would be spared from slaughter and destruction. However, despite receiving the treasure, the conquerors continued attacking and killing them. Because of this betrayal, a terrible curse was placed upon the treasure. Barbassa explains that anyone who steals even a single coin from that chest will remain cursed until the end of the world. He continues by saying that his crew discovered the treasure long ago. At the time they did not believe in the legend, so they stole all 882 coins and the rest of the treasure. At first they enjoyed their riches and lived lavishly, but soon they realized the curse was real. No matter what they did, they could never truly feel happiness again. Barbassa explains that his crew has remained cursed for many years. The only way to break the curse is to return all 882 gold coins to the treasure chest. He proudly says that they managed to recover almost every coin, and the final coin was the one Elizabeth unknowingly brought to them. Barbassa then reveals that they must also offer her blood along with the coin to finally lift the curse. Hearing this, Elizabeth suddenly stabs Barbassa with a knife and runs out onto the ship. However, the moment she steps outside, she is horrified. There are no normal humans on the ship at all. Every pirate aboard is actually a living skeleton. Barbassa walks behind her and explains the true horror of the curse. He says that although they can eat and drink, they can never satisfy their hunger or thirst. They cannot truly feel pleasure, and even death is impossible for them. But now, he believes the time has finally come for them to be freed from the curse. Meanwhile, Will Turner and Captain Jack Sparrow sail closer to the Black Pearl. During the journey, Jack's crew explains to Will that Jack was once the true captain of the Black Pearl. However, Barbassa and the rest of the crew betrayed him, stole the ship, and abandoned him on a deserted island to die. Jack somehow survived, but ever since then, he has wanted revenge on Barbassa, who is now the captain of the Black Pearl. Soon afterward, Barbassa takes Elizabeth into a hidden cave where the chest of cursed gold coins is kept. The pirates have already returned 881 coins, leaving only the final one. At that moment, Captain Jack Sparrow and Will Turner also arrive. At the cave, Barbassa prepares to complete the ritual using the last coin and Elizabeth's blood in order to finally remove the curse. Barbassa cuts Elizabeth's hand, lets her blood fall onto the coin, and drops it into the treasure chest. However, even after performing the ritual, nothing changes. The pirates remain cursed. Barbassa suddenly realizes the truth. Elizabeth is not the daughter of Bootstrap Turner, so her blood cannot break the curse. Where's your father, William Turner? No. Where's his child? Furious, he attacks her, causing her to fall to the ground. At the same time, chaos erupts between Barbassa and his crew. During the confusion, Will secretly emerges from the water and cleverly escapes with Elizabeth and the cursed coin. However, Jack Sparrow is captured. You're supposed to be dead. Polly. Polly? That's the one. Polly. Jack angrily reminds Barbassa that he was once the true captain of the Black Pearl, and that Barbassa betrayed him and abandoned him on an island before the treasure was even found. Jack then tells him that although he escaped the curse, he knows exactly what Barbassa needs in order to break it. He claims he can bring the right person to them. Meanwhile, Barbassa's men attack the interceptor and capture everyone aboard, including Elizabeth and Will. Barbassa already knows that Will is the son of Bootstrap Turner, making him the key to lifting the curse. Will tries his best to protect the ship, but the interceptor is no match for the Black Pearl. Eventually, Barbassa captures him. Barbassa then throws Elizabeth into the ocean and tells Jack that this is the same island where he was abandoned before. He mocks Jack, saying that this time there will be no escape. That be the same little island that we made you go. I did notice. Last time you left me a pistol with one shot. Yourself. Afterward, Barbassa leaves Jack on the island as well. Now stranded together, Jack and Elizabeth explore the island. Elizabeth discovers that Jack had secretly stored large amounts of rum there. The next morning, however, she burns the entire stash. As the massive fire rises into the sky, the flames become visible from far away. A ship soon arrives at the island carrying James and Elizabeth's father. They rescue both Elizabeth and Jack from the island. As soon as they return, Elizabeth begs James to help save Will Turner. However, James immediately refuses. Hearing this, Elizabeth tells him that if he refuses to rescue Will, she will never marry him. Left with no choice, James reluctantly agrees. A short time later, they arrive near the Black Pearl. Inside a hidden cave, all the pirates have gathered to complete the ritual with the final cursed coin. At this point, Jack tells James about his plan. He says that he will go inside the cave and convince Barbassa to send his pirates outside. Once the pirates leave the cave, James and his soldiers can attack and shoot them. Jack then enters the cave. Inside, he sees Barbassa preparing to kill Will by cutting his throat. Jack quickly interrupts and warns him that even if the curse is lifted, the pirates still will not survive because the Dauntless is waiting outside. The moment they leave the cave as normal humans, James and his men will kill them all. Jack cleverly suggests another idea. He tells Barbassa that before becoming human again, they should first capture the Dauntless and take control of both ships. In return, Jack demands to become the captain of the Black Pearl once again. He also promises that he will work with Barbassa and give him 10% of every treasure he steals in the future. While speaking, Jack secretly steals another cursed coin from the treasure chest. In reality, everything Jack says is part of a carefully planned trick designed to prevent the pirates from becoming free of the curse too soon. I'll sail under your colors. I'll give you 10% of me plunder. Commodore Barbassa. Wait to lift the curse. Barbassa believes Jack's plan is reasonable, so he orders all of his men to leave the cave and attack the Dauntless. As soon as the pirates step into the moonlight outside, they transform into terrifying skeletons and begin attacking the ship. Meanwhile, inside the cave, Will and Jack launch an attack on Barbassa. A fierce sword fight begins between them. During the battle, Jack stabs Barbassa in the stomach, but because Barbassa is still cursed, the wound has no effect on him. Barbassa then grabs the sword and stabs Jack in return. However, when Jack steps into the moonlight, his body also transforms into a skeleton. Barbassa is shocked to realize that Jack secretly stole one of the cursed coins and became cursed himself. Jack now takes out the coin and smears his blood onto it before tossing it toward Will. At that exact moment, Elizabeth enters the cave. Barbassa quickly points his gun at her. Suddenly, a gunshot echoes through the cave. Jack has fired the shot at Barbassa using the same pistol Barbassa once gave him, before abandoning him on the island years ago. Barbassa laughs and says the bullet was wasted because he cannot die, but Will immediately proves him wrong. Will drops both cursed coins back into the treasure chest along with his blood, finally breaking the curse. In an instant, all the pirates return to normal human form again. With the curse finally broken, all the pirates on the Black Pearl become human again. Barbassa, who had just been struck by the bullet, dies as a normal man, ending his long cursed existence. On the Dauntless, the remaining pirates surrender, realizing their defeat is complete. Jack Sparrow is captured again and taken back for trial. A court hearing is held where Jack is sentenced to be hanged. Will Turner feels deeply disturbed by this decision. Unable to hold back his emotions, he goes to Elizabeth's father and James, and confesses that he truly loves Elizabeth. After saying this, Will rushes toward the place where Jack's execution is about to take, determined to save him. At the last moment, Will arrives and everything is on the verge of chaos. Will manages to rescue Jack and they try to escape, but James' soldiers arrive and capture them again. Elizabeth's father is also present at the scene. Elizabeth then confesses to Will that she also loves him deeply. Meanwhile, Jack Sparrow uses his parrot to figure out his surroundings and realizes that his crew is nearby. Seizing the moment, he jumps from the high walls of the palace into the water below. Just then, the Black Pearl arrives at the shore with Jack's loyal crew. They move toward the area to rescue him. On the palace side, James decides to forgive Will for everything. Elizabeth's father also accepts Will and agrees to Elizabeth and Will's marriage. In the end, Captain Jack Sparrow is seen back aboard the Black Pearl, having regained control of his ship and once again becoming its captain. With that, the story comes to a close. We hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really motivates us a lot. And as always, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.